All right, let's get back to the cicadas here. So we have a
Okay.
couple. I mean, we every day we're like, okay, we've hit every angle of the cicadas, but it just keeps happening.
Mhm.
So, um, Chouquette Chocolates, they are offering local, based in Maryland. They are offering chocolate covered cicadas.
Love it.
And the owner of the shop says they're really delicious. They're like chocolate covered potato chips, which means that she takes them, flash fries them, and then dips them in chocolate.
I think that's the way to go. Everything's better in chocolate, right? If you're going to eat cicadas, why not
And
dip it in
fried.
chocolate? Yeah, exactly. Fry it in chocolate. Like, okay, great. I'll eat whatever you want if it's fried in chocolate.
It's like a sweet and savory type of thing, like a chocolate covered pretzel, like a little salt, little protein, and then you get the sweetness of the chocolate.
I dig that. I spoke with a professor of food policy from Johns Hopkins University, and Professor Afonso was saying that, like, around the world, people eat insects. Like Europe and America are like the two places like that don't really eat insects, and then not even like because it's all they can afford kind of thing. Like it's just culturally you eat insects in other parts of the world. So I'm not sure I'm there yet.
But good for her.
So I think that's world after all. However, I'm not sure that I'm there.
That's the next wave of people posting on social media, right? It's going to be people that are eating cicadas.
Mm-hmm.
But on that note, so we have, Tommy, you're coming up to the house later today. It is very loud here. It is doubled in the last couple of days of the chirping of the cicadas. And in fact, it's good news because I always complain about the birds in the trees that wake me up at the crack of dawn. The cicadas have basically removed them from the trees. They have taken over all the trees that we have on our street. If you've noticed, if you park underneath a tree these days, you might notice like a really sappy thing coming on your car, like kind of covering the car, and you have to clear off your windshield. I thought it was the sap from the trees, but it turns out that cicadas pee. And that is their pee. It falls to the ground. It's like a gentle little rain shower. I read this story in the Washington Post, and it's like a watery tree sap. It won't hurt you. It's not harmful. It's not. But if you go walk down my block, or I mean any block where there's cicadas, you'll feel like just like a little tap. It will just hit you, and those are the cicadas peeing.
But it's that much you can like feel it.
Yes. And I had been feeling it for like a week or so. And it wasn't until like I got my car washed over the weekend to get rid of all this sap. And then like I left it outside for 2 hours. I'm like, what the heck? And it's the cicada pee.
Do you think it has beautitional value, right? Like you have like a mud mask or like a seaweed mask. Like is the cicada pee actually, is it like helping your beauty regimen?
Oh, I didn't go down that deep dive, but if you find something on
glowing.
no, I'm not putting it on my face, but if I wouldn't be opposed to that.
Right. If somebody told me it made me look younger, I would do it in a second.
Totally. I mean, I've done worse things. I mean, so there you go. So thank you for the Washington Post for clarifying that. I now know it's cicada pee, and you know what? It's going to be gone in a couple of weeks, and then we have to wait another 17 years. So I'm okay with it.
Speaking of the 17 years thing, my friend Deb has putting together a cicada playlist. She was trying to tell the story of like the cicada's life cycle through music. And I was like, that is very creative. But also she found an article too on the science side that says, and I have not read the whole thing, so just I know enough to be dangerous, but cicadas have evolved to come out every 13 and 17 years because it's a prime number that's not divisible by anything. So therefore, like their predators can't account for it. So like based on like the cycle of the sun, animals are like, okay, this has been a year, this has been 2 years, this has been like 7 years in dog years or whatever. But if something is a prime number and not easily divisible, evolutionarily, you can't like an animal can't plan for it to be like, aha, it's almost cicada eating time. So they like basically they surprise nature every time.
Yeah, but they do get eaten by animals.
100%.
I mean, they got that long trek from the ground up to the tree to get that mate.
Yep.
And when you're that size, it is a big mountain.